everyone, Alan Thrall here. In this video, I'm going to give you a few tips that will help you be more efficient with your time in the gym. Now, I'm sure some of you are thinking, why should I listen to the guy who owns a gym about finding the time to lift? Now, owning Untitled Strength does have its perks, and there are times when I can't finish my training session in one time frame, so I'll finish later in the day, but I avoid doing this the best I can. I'm usually pressed for time in the gym, and my days are very busy. My to-do list never ends, and I have to implement some or all these tips to expedite my training session. And before I owned Untitled Strength, I had to lift at 2:30 a.m. for a while because I just didn't have time to lift during my day. So I know the struggle of finding and making time to lift. For starters, don't record YouTube videos while you lift. That takes up a lot of time. Tip number 1, plan ahead. This doesn't have anything to do with being more time efficient in the gym, but it does help ensure you actually go to the gym like you're supposed to. First off, I schedule my training sessions just like I schedule work. It's not an option. I don't just do it if I have time. I put it on the schedule and I make sure I do it. If my day fills up with personal training sessions and appointments, I still make sure I leave a window of time to train. If you say to yourself, I'll go to the gym after work if I don't have anything else going on, you're probably going to find yourself rescheduling your training sessions frequently. Now, once you're in the gym, here are some tips that will speed up the process because most of us would rather not spend 3 hours in the gym. Tip number 2, stop stretching and foam rolling. Let it be known, I do not care if you stretch or foam roll. Again, I do not care. But if you're always pressed for time, I suggest ditching the excessive warm-up routine. I used to think that you had to stretch and foam roll for 20 minutes before getting under an empty barbell. I've even made a number of videos about how to stretch and how to foam roll, and I've since learned it's not as important as I thought. Contrary to what many people think, I'm not saying this because Mark Ripito says it's a waste of time. I wasn't even influenced by my own coach, Austin Baraki. I stopped stretching and foam rolling because I didn't have time. I used to follow a 15 to 20 minute routine of stretching, foam rolling, and a dynamic warm-up before getting under an empty barbell. In the past, if I didn't have time to finish my training session, I would just not finish what I had planned. Oh well. Once I asked for Austin Baraki's coaching guidance, that changed. I had a window of time to finish the sessions he sent me, and I made sure that I finished it. I stopped stretching, foam rolling, and activating because I didn't have time. I just got under the empty barbell and squatted. The first set with the empty bar didn't feel great, but the second set felt better, and the third set felt even better, and so on. I taught myself that I am not made of glass, and I can squat an empty barbell and deadlift 135 without having to spend 20 minutes warming up beforehand. Squatting actually warms up my body for the squat better than anything else. Go figure. If you struggle to reach depth, I would encourage you to find a knowledgeable coach who can teach you how to squat correctly. I encounter a lot of people who assume their mobility is preventing them from squatting to depth or deadlifting with a flat back, when in fact, they just don't know how to perform the movements correctly. I want to make it clear, I always suggest warming up. Don't jump right into your working weight. Start with an empty barbell and slowly increase the weight up to your working sets. Sometimes I need more time to warm up than other days, so I'll do a couple more sets of 5 with the empty barbell or another set of 5 with 135 pounds. It's been 9 months since I stopped stretching and foam rolling every day, and I'm just fine. I sound like a recovering alcoholic. I am no more or no less flexible or mobile than I was last year. And to be honest, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. There's nothing worse than being in a rush to finish a heavy squat workout and starting the session off by sitting on the ground rolling around a lacrosse ball. Tip number 3, leave your phone in the car or turn it on airplane mode. It should be obvious why I listed this. If you're pressed for time, get off your phone. It's so easy to spend 10 minutes on Instagram and not realize how long you've been sitting there, probably occupying a squat rack that someone else is waiting to use. Sitting by yourself with nothing but your thoughts, on the other hand, 3 to 5 minutes of rest and you're good to go. I always have someone to call back, text back, emails to answer. IG feed to check, and on and on. And when I'm pressed for time, I power my phone off and I leave it in the truck. It makes a world of difference. Tip number 4, start timing your rest periods. Hold yourself to a set rest period. I like 3 to 5 minutes for lower body lifts and 2 to 3 minutes for upper body lifts. I would not suggest cutting rest periods between heavy squats, for example, to an unreasonable amount of time like 1 minute. Hashtag CrossFit. This is one perk to RPE training. If I'm performing 5 sets of 5 reps, all at RPE 8, and I have to shorten my rest periods on this particular day, it's okay if the weight decreases slightly on the subsequent sets, so long as I'm keeping the stress at RPE 8. Tip number 5, drop the excessive accessory work. I'm going to release a video in the near future about assistance work, accessories, and variations, so I'm not going to go into depth in this video, but I will say that if you're pressed for time, I suggest putting all of your effort into the main lifts and their close variations. All of the energy you're putting towards unilateral, machine, and cable assistance work could be better spent just doing another set of squats or presses. Instead of doing 3 sets of 10 for 3 to 4 different back exercises, just do a few more sets of deadlifts, pause deadlifts, deficit deadlifts, rack pulls, etc. I'm not saying that assistance work is useless, because I don't believe that, but if you are pressed for time, stick to the main movements and their close variations. They allow you to move the most amount of weight while training the most amount of muscle. Biggest bang for your buck. Worry about your main meal before touching the side dishes. That's it. I hope these quick tips helped. Thanks for watching, and always remember, tread on time.